All right, guys. So someone asked me this question the other day, and I wanted to share my response with you. So it's 100% about control. What they're doing is threatening to leave so that you will either beg or bend down, or instead of them communicating and you guys coming to a compromise together, they're trying to force you to bend to their will and bend to what they want. And they're threatening to leave, and in some cases, they are leaving because of that. Where this comes from is it's just like being ostracized from your family and from the people you care about. Because think about like back a long time ago when we had tribes and stuff. If you were like shut out of your tribe and ostracized from your tribe because you didn't agree with something that they said or something that they wanted to do or whatever, then that's pretty much like the death of you, because then you have to go off on your own and fend for yourself. And we all know how much better tribes and people do when they're in communities and stuff like that. You can protect each other. You can, yeah. So when you're ostracized from your family or your community or the people that you love, you're not going to do as well in society, and you're not going to be able to survive as well. And the person who's using this against you knows this. And what they're doing is they're exercising control over you to say like, oh, if you don't, like I said before, if you don't bend to my will, if you don't do what I say, then I'm going to leave you and you're going to have to fend for yourself. And I'm not going to be there for whatever value I bring to the relationship, whatever value I bring to the community, to family, to the tribe, essentially. And yeah, they're just exerting power over you to do that. And real relationships, healthy relationships, you work together as a team, you compromise, and you make decisions together. I get that sometimes there are times where like emergency situations, where you have to make a decision right then and there. Some of that stuff, most of that stuff can be talked about prior to this, can be discussed prior to it being an emergency, obviously. But yeah, that's what it is. It's just exercising control over you. And I would leave the relationship because they're not showing any communication skills. What they're doing is exercising force to make you bend to their will instead of you guys being equal and it being a healthy relationship. So on the other side of this, that I do want to mention, there are times when people end up leaving an argument because they know that they're right, but they don't have the communication skills or the evidence and reasoning to convince the other person that they're right. So what they end up doing is getting frustrated and leaving and taking off. And if that's the case, and that's still a form of control, because they're still exercising a form of control and force by like, oh, I'm just going to leave until you bend to my will and whatever. And I'm speaking about this from experience. I've done this before to people. And yeah, if that's the case, what you have to do is say like, hey, I need time. Can we come back to this and talk about it in the future when I'm more prepared for this discussion? Because some discussions are really complicated. Like, say that there's like a deep value issue in your relationship, how you want to raise children or whatever. There's reasons behind why you want to do things a certain way and all that. And it's really complicated, especially in like mixed race relationships or mixed value relationships, I guess, because in America it's not like oh, we're all in Italy and we're all surrounded by Italians that have the same values and the same culture and everything like that. Yeah, and this is like my experience. What I did is, with the black girl that I was dating, she was going off about how because I'm white, I should have to help her and pay her and everything, and my family, because I'm Italian, my family used to be a slave, so I should understand how it is and try to help slaves out and all that. And I do help people a lot now. In the past, like my relationship with her, I wasn't as helpful to people as I am these days. But I help people by giving them, by trying to convince them to make better choices. But we got into an argument, and I wasn't prepared for any of these race issues or anything. I had no idea about any of that before our relationship. So I got pissed off and stormed out on her, and I texted her saying I'm not leaving you, I'll come back to this or whatever. But then she just stopped talking to me after that, and we didn't talk for 3 or 4 months after that. And then I was begging her to talk to me and everything. And then 3 or 4 months later, after she was with some other guy, in a relationship with another guy, she wrote back to me, and we ended up meeting up. And I don't know if that was just to see if she was she missed me, or to see if she was making a bad choice by choosing him instead of me. And we had other issues with she didn't want to have sex. She wanted me to artificially inseminate her. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to get into that, but it's I just wanted to raise a child together, and she wanted to me artificially inseminate her, then me not be involved in the kid's life and her move somewhere else. And then she was saying she wanted to live with other guys or something, which I don't know why she was saying that. This was after our argument and all that, when I was trying to clarify things. But yeah, the whole point of this, I just wanted to add in that sometimes people do storm out because it may seem like you're attacking their values and their core beliefs and everything. And the only way out of that is just to have civilized discussions and arguments based on reason and evidence and statistics and data and all that. We have all these years of knowledge behind us that we can reference and look up and everything. Like not hitting children, there's so much evidence and psychological impact backed by evidence to help convince us not to hit our kids. So you just have to have that type of relationship where you can talk about that. And it's not just you just have that type of relationship and that's it. It's not you just say it one day, we're let's date, and from now on we have to talk about everything and discuss everything. You have to work at that constantly. Whenever there's a little problem or something, you have to be open to discussing it, and you can't ever get mad at each other and shut down the conversation or anything. You have to be able to hear each other out, and you have to create a safe environment for the other party so that they feel safe telling you their thoughts without you getting mad at them and everything. And then you come to a conclusion after that and make a decision after that. So I hope that helped answer your question. If anyone else watches this, I hope that helped clear things up for you guys too. And thank you very much for watching. Take care and goodbye.